The XAM4 is a device we use at SpecialEffect to allow us to use different controllers on different consoles. For example, some people prefer the layout of the PS3's controller compared to the PS4's, and may like to keep using it on the new console. The XAM4 works with the Xbox 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4 consoles. It is set up and configured via Bluetooth using an Android app or the PC version of the software. In this instance, we'll be setting up a wired Microsoft controller to work on a PS4. Add the controller you would like to use to one of the two free USB slots at the bottom of the XAM4. The controller for the console you're playing on must remain in the top of the XAM4. You can then program your chosen controller to replicate the buttons required by your console. To do this, you select the button you want to replicate in the Android app or PC software, then tap the button on the controller you want to use for this function. Keep the layout of the buttons the same as on the original controller, for example A for cross or B for circle. Alternatively, you could create your own customized layout. For example, here we're swapping the trigger buttons with the thumbstick buttons. Some specialist accessibility controllers can be used with the XAM4. Here we are using Letmus Switch Access Pod with their dual joystick and some accessibility switches. Here we are using a Console Switch Interface Deluxe from OneSwitch. These interfaces could also be used to add switch use alongside the console's standard controller. Using the XAM4's second USB port, we could also add an extra controller. In this instance, we are adding a Microsoft controller again to use on the PlayStation 4. Other switch interfaces can also be used, such as this Don Johnston PC interface. As well as using the XAM4 to use different controllers on your console, it also enables the use of a mouse and/or keyboard as a controller on your console. A list of compatible mice and keyboards can be found at the XAM website. If using a compatible gaming mouse, you can map the buttons to emulate controller buttons. For up-to-date info on hardware compatibility, visit the XAM website forums. I'll put a link in the description below.